Hello, Potato, and welcome to Weekend Magic for December the 10th, 2022. And hopefully, this is the second time you're seeing me today, having already watched the 10th episode of the Guardians of the Droid Factory Adventure Advent Calendar series that is also running this month, where we look at the LEGO Marvel Guardians of the Galaxies calendar, the Star Wars Droid Factory calendar, and are alternating back and forth in a couple of alcohol calendars from Jack Daniels and some other no-name brand that I found at Total Wine. But as you may guess, this video is not about Christmas, and you may have guessed that by one, reading the title, but two, by the fact that we have Minnie Mouse, the main attraction plush, standing here between Deadpool on a deer and the Void Space Holiday Tree. And therefore you have probably accurately surmised that today's video is about Mickey Mouse, the main attraction, Part 11, The Jungle Cruise. Classic ride, one of my favorites. We actually will have a video of that coming out sometime in the future. We did record that on our trip to Disneyland recently. Indeed, while we were there, the Mickey Mouse the Main Attraction series released. They, however, did not have it there. We ordered it from ShopDisney, and good thing we did, because again, they didn't have any of it. They didn't have any of the Haunted Mansion stuff. They had 4 or 5 different series of Mickey Mouse the Main Attraction, but they didn't have Haunted Mansion, and they didn't have this new one, the Jungle Cruise. So we have most of the set. We didn't get the backpack, and as has been the case for the last few entries in this series, the ears are coming separate and did not make it in time for today's video. So we'll tie them into something maybe like a Christmassy video next week, where they'll be totally out of place in the same way that Minnie is out of place now. But we do have the pin, the key, and the plush. So let's, as always, go down there and start off by looking at the pin, which as always has a big sticker put in front of it, but we are back to putting months on here. This does say November, despite the fact it did not come out until December, what was that, the 2nd? I think it was the 2nd last week. I mean, I guess it makes sense if today is the 10th, then last Friday would have been the 2nd, because 7 days before yesterday. Yeah, that checks out. The math works on that. But here it is out of the plastic bag, so we can see it clearly. And just as a heads up, you'll see it in a couple minutes here, the plush is completely wrapped in paper. I don't know what it looks like, but looking at this, I don't feel like this is going to be one of my favorites. I know we're just trying to kind of ape the red and white striping on Minnie's dress, which, like that. But the stripy pants kind of, to me, get like a long underwear look. It looks like we've got a shirt instead of a jacket. He should have a jacket like the Jungle Cruise skippers do, like indeed Minnie does. But maybe that's just not relayed well on the pin. And the hat, for some reason, makes me think Australia. I mean, still, as far as the pin goes, it is, of course, Series 11 to 12, limited release, pin on pin, because as always, the hat is a separate layer, double pin backed, writing on the back. It's what we've come to expect from the series, and the series is almost over, and guys, I'm kind of glad for it. The series has not... It's certainly been easier than the Minnie Mouse one, but I don't feel it's been as good. I feel like some cheapness, I feel like a lot of this series was kind of a cash grab. It doesn't feel as, it's taken a while for me to get there, but I now do feel like this is not as overall good a quality as Minnie Mouse was. The pin itself is quality. It's a quality pin. It's nice, solid, chunky, well designed, just not loving that outfit. Well, let's go a little bit larger and move on to the key, or at least this giant reflective glary box that does contain the key. As usual, we have no real easy way of seeing into it because the light shines back off the plastic covering, which still reminds me of a VHS cassette. Now, as best we can look at the key though, I've got the elephant head on it. That is similar to the elephant head on Minnie's hat. I've got the red and white striping. I've got some lush undergrowth there. I feel like, is that... Oh, okay, I get it. I was like, what are they doing here? Why is it clear? It's clear because it's water. It's probably supposed to be Schweitzer Falls. So I guess if we took the key out of the back, or the box rather, and looked at it from the backside, we could see the backside of water. And then we have, of course, the Disney World Castle, and it says Jungle Cruise on it. And it's actually a pretty nice key. It's a little plasticky looking, but it's pretty nice. I feel like I'm going to like this better than I ultimately like the plush. I do think the water thing is creative, if not super obvious at first glance. You need to kind of think on it for a second and realize that the splash at the bottom there. That's okay. I might be a little tired of this series, and if the plush is as disappointing as the pin makes me think it's going to be, because remember, up until now, with few exceptions, the pin has looked better. When the plush has been bad, like Peter Pan or Tiki Room isn't bad, it's just lackluster on its own. The key has been more impressive. The pin has been more impressive. The pin is actually what I meant to say. The pin has been more impressive and looked nicer than the actual plush. And if that holds up, this plush isn't going to look very good. But I'm getting ahead of myself. We'll get there in a minute. First, we must do, as we always do, and read the back of the key. Voyage by tramp steamer down several major rivers in Asia, Africa, and South America on the Jungle Cruise. This Adventureland attraction opened on October 1st, 1971 in the Magic Kingdom Park in Walt Disney World Resort. On your excursion, you'll encounter audio animatronics jungle animals, wet waters, and dry wit courtesy of your skipper. Okay, and let's just compare what to say in the Minnie Mouse. Voyage by tramp steamer. Yeah, just only difference is that the Disneyland one opened on July 17th, 1955. So yeah, that's as has generally been the case, essentially the same thing. So now it's time to go back to the full size to look at the star of today's show, the plush. And unlike the Haunted Mansion one, this one is completely wrapped up in paper. And again, I'm really afraid of what he's going to look like. But as we do, let's take him out of the bag, slap him up on a stand, put him next to Minnie, who looks like she's standing in a very uncomfortable manner there. Let's fix that. There we go. And see what there is to see. Yeah, he's just totally encased in paper. And there he is, for better or worse, Mickey Mouse, the main attraction, Jungle Cruise plush. Well, so yeah, the fact he's not got a jacket, that is my, just instantly my number one complaint is he should have a jacket like she did. The Jungle Cruise skippers have jackets, he should have a jacket. What has he got? Is that cauliflower? What is that? That's a fish. What are these things? Why are they here? All right, so I'm getting ahead of myself. All right. So yeah, no jacket, just a shirt, which is just, on him. It doesn't feel like a separate piece like Minnie's jacket does. Those pants, man, those pants. For some reason, those pants with those suspenders, and actually even the neckerchief here, I feel like that would have been much more appropriate on Big Thunder Mountain. There's just something about his look here that screams crazy gold miner, like Old Man McGucket kind of thing. And it's just really not working for me. He looks like he should be an Old West gold miner, not a Jungle Cruise skipper. Also, just this separation of fabric here at the front is just visually off-putting to me. Shoes are kind of your standard Mickey feet. They have at least given him some boot cuffs that his pants tuck into, so that's nice. And they do actually feel like, they actually do tuck in. You can actually untuck them if you want to and have them cover up the boots. But we won't do that. I have no interest in doing that. He's got dangly bits for some reason. This very evil-looking parrot. Like this looks like Jaws. Got a piranha. And I have no... It looks like a tree with like the Acropolis in the middle. I have no idea what that is. Moving over to his satchel, we've got that same elephant that we do see on both the key and on Minnie's headpiece. So that's nice. The satchel's okay. It's actually, the satchel's got kind of like a faux leather feel to it. I mean, it feels like almost like a hide. I like that. I like that fabric. What's the hat made out of? The hat's kind of a rough, sort of khaki feeling thing. Not the same thing as her hat. Her hat's a much softer fabric. The one thing, of course, is that the brim of the hat is stuck up. There's no issues of it being crimped unintentionally this time. It's supposed to be that way. Although on the pin it looks more like it's supposed to be to the side, which kind of gives, to me, like makes me think Australian. But nope, it's to the front, which unfortunately does obscure the leopard print headband, which is an element that appears repeatedly on Minnie. She's on the shoes, on her belt, on her hat band. Although not made out of the same material. Well, maybe it feels similar to the material of the belt, but the hat band feels like a rougher ribbon. Look at the back. Of course, he's got his tail. I think all the Mickeys have had tails. Well, there's like one Minnie that didn't have a tail, wasn't there? That's what caused us to all be a thing. Of course, he has the Mickey Mouse Main Attraction logo on his foot. And I'll be honest, I think he kind of takes her down a notch. My wife is currently reevaluating who gets to stay out because there's not enough space for both sets of these and the Mickey Mouse Memories. So I think Mickey Mouse Memories is all going to go into storage, and only a select number of Mickeys and Minnies will get to stay out, and it'll be the pairs. And I feel like, because she's been one that's been on display consistently since 2020, I feel like Mickey's going to cost her spot. Because there have been some that look really nice together this year. Pirate, for example. I think the Pirate Mickey made the Pirate Minnie look better. Pirate Minnie was, to me, like one of the weakest, if not the weakest one in that series. Haunted Mansion, of course, is great. They both look good. He doesn't look so great up close, but he looks good on the shelf next to Minnie. But I feel he's kind of disappointing. Let's see, the skin match seems pretty good. Mouths are the same colors. He's still, like, look at the stitching around the eyes. He looks a little cheaper. It looks more like this is actually stitching and this is like part of a patch. He's definitely not the worst. He's definitely not worse than Peter Pan. I think he is, on his own, better than Tiki Room, although I think Tiki Room Minnie makes Tiki Room Mickey look better in, next to each other. Tiki Room Mickey just looks like he's on vacation, but with Minnie, I think it creates more context for them. But yeah, he's not bad. I guess also I think Haunted Mansion was a high point for me. Haunted Mansion, Pirates, I think Space Mountain was a really good one. Alice was pretty good. We've had some really good ones, and I feel like this is a middle of the packer. He's not at the bottom, but he's definitely not in the top. He's a middle of the packer, and I don't think middle of the packer is enough to get them, even with as good as she looks. And I think I had some complaints about her when she came out too, just because this kind of gave me circus tent vibes. But I guess having stared at it for 2 years, at least in my periphery vision, I've grown used to her. But yeah, I don't understand why these things are dangling from his pants. I don't understand why he looks like a gold miner. Maybe I'm just not in the mood for this, I don't know, but and I'm just being overly critical. Maybe I'm having Disneyland withdrawals, having to be back in the real world since our trip ended. But he's not doing it for me. I'm not loving him. And if he ends up causing her to go into storage, I won't at all be surprised. But he is here. He is part 11. We only have one more set. And I'm guessing they're not going to get that out for the end of the year. I'm guessing that'll come out in January probably. Because that's just the way they've been since 2020. I don't see why it'll change. And I haven't seen any previews yet of what next year's thing is going to be. But unless it's really darned impressive, unless it gets away from this plush pin key sort of a pattern, I feel like I'm going to be skipping it. Especially if it's something like Disney Wisdom, which in retrospect was just not a good series. I will reiterate, I know it's too late. I know they've already planned out at least the first 4 or 5 months of it. They've probably already made some of them, or at least have them, the order sent to factories. But what I would really like to see is something along the lines of the main attraction series, where we focus on a different attraction each month, or each part, because I guess we're not calling them monthly now, they're just continuity series, where we focus on a different attraction each part. But instead of making a plush and a pin, and certainly we can do away with the keys that we seem to be kind of trickling out of those anyways. They're still coming and going, but we're trickling out. I just like maybe see ride vehicles. I would love little like vinyl or die-cast ride vehicles. A Jungle Cruise ship, a Doom buggy, one of the boats from Peter Pan's Flight. I mean, yes, I know we have them in the Funko Pops, but in like a die-cast or vinyl, either one. Don't need any characters in it. Just a recreation of the ride vehicle, maybe a pin of the ride, although that's trickier because there's like different looks to the Haunted Mansion, different looks to Pirates of the Caribbean. Ultimately, a pirate's vehicle would not be particularly interesting on its own, unless you are of a certain sort, and I think that's probably a little niche. But that's what I'd like to say. I'd like something that's not focused on a plush. I'd like to just not be a plush, frankly. I would like something that's focused on smaller, more detailed, nicer collectibles, and less so on plush. Pins are still fine, but we can skip plush for a year. But we won't. I don't know what it'll be, but it'll involve a plush. And again, unless it's real darned impressive, I think we're gonna skip it. And I'm just in a generally bad mood now. Thanks, Mickey. So I should wrap this up before I just complain more. I hope you still found it interesting and entertaining. Again, it's 11 of 12. We're almost done with the series. Hopefully the grand finale, the fireworks, will be impressive. Honestly, the pictures I've seen of it haven't been too impressive, and I was never really that impressed with the mini plush anyways. So that may be another one that loses its place on the shelf. But we'll see when Mickey arrives. Anyways, I do thank you for watching. If you found this interesting and entertaining, go ahead and like and subscribe. If you haven't already subscribed, and you should subscribe, because I one day want to have one of those plaques. Am I wrong? Am I completely off base? Does this look really good? Let me know in the comments. If you think I'm wrong, by all means, correct me. Like I said, I could just be in a bad mood. I don't know, but it's not working for me. In any case, the next video will probably be another Guardian of the Droid Factory adventure video, so please be watching those. And then after that, probably some Disneyland stuff. So yeah, I will see you in the next video, whatever that ends up being.